a fight with Trump because I didn't see anything coming across the Twitter. And if he had said something that would have provoked this man, we would have seen something coming across Twitter. Also, what a terrible game for a president to go to, just in general. Right? Like, there's so much going into the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. You're going to add your detail and all that goes into that there? For what?
You want to see history.
And how does the NFL just allow the dude who shit talked them so bad?
CJ, we're choosing love in the end zones now.
Yeah, because we ended racism.
Right.
Obviously.
We've moved on. So I'm telling you, we're choosing love.
I can't be that upset about ending racism thing in the end zones. It was stupid to begin with.
Exactly.
So
but
yeah,
it's
knock
even
yourself out.
Stupider.
No.
To go to choose love.
Yeah, well, yes, that is stupid also. Just nothing in the end zone. What do we? That's not going to stop. Devin's brought it up.
This might be a shake fisted cloud moment, but we just put the teams in the end zone.
That's it.
Is that crazy?
Devin brought it up. No, Roger Goodell did not end racism. He's working on ending violence against women, though. What? He is. Devin brought it up on the Vernon show. Like, no racist saw that in the end zone and said, you know what? They're right. I'm going to stop being racist. No, get that out of here. Do something actually tangible. What was the song today?
It's a song from a musical called I Am the One from Next to Normal. A great show about depression. Really light. It was actually supposed to come back to Broadway, and I'm really upset because of the nature of potential financial strife in the country. A couple shows that were supposed to move from the West End in London to Broadway have now decided to stall for an additional year because they're worried people won't have money to spend excessively on tickets. So I will not get my Next to Normal revival this fall on Broadway. And I'm a little upset about it, if we're being honest. That and the Chess revival starring She Can't Read, Leah Michele. These are the things that I think about that nobody else thinks about.
Speaking of depressing musicals, happy birthday.
Oh my God, thank you, CJ. What's up, everybody? It is Thursday, February 6th. It is gonna be a good day. Jessica Benson with you from the Grind City Media Studios in Memphis, Tennessee. CJ Hurt behind the glass. Coming up on today's show, another Grizzlies win, make it 10 of the last 11. Trade deadline is today in the NBA. The Warriors got Jimmy Butler. The Lakers already got Luka, a lob threat. Will the Grizzlies make a move? We will get into it all. Teresa Walker will join us about 20 minutes in to continue the conversation. We'll talk to her about Super Bowl LIX coming up this weekend between the Chiefs and the Eagles. Speaking of the Super Bowl, it is time for our annual Setlist prediction. CJ and I will predict Kendrick Lamar's Setlist for Sunday. What's he going to sing? Who's he going to sing with? We'll get into all of it. We'll end with some Theater Thursday. I finally watched Emilia Perez up for Best Picture this year. I have thoughts. We'll get into all of it. It is almost the end of the week. You know what we say.
Pour up.
Pour up?
You gotta say drink.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, how do you not know that lyric?
I know no lyrics.
Pour up, drink.
This is so
drink,
perfect for a conversation we're gonna have later.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board. A class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Memphis Cat is back with his Heaven on Earth tour.
I tried to be incognito, but thanks to Shannon Sharp's loud mouth, the gig is up.
February 22nd in the FedEx Forum.
In my spare time, I infiltrate the Illuminati, look for their secrets, run back, tell y'all.
Don't miss this year's most talked about comedy icon live. He's back with brand new material, an unmatched wit, and an electrifying performance. Get tickets at Ticketmaster.com.
When it's all on the line, you turn to the strong, the stable, the unwavering. To those with a history of raising their performance, to meet the moment. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies checking from Pinnacle. Play hard, bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st. And you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no-looks are great on TV, but nothing compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzly stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside, Memphis.
Is Hulkamania officially dead?
Yes.
When you have over 17,000 people live and you have Netflix premiere the biggest day in WWE history, and meanwhile they boo him out of the building?
Hulk Hogan, I'm coming for you!
That is your core audience, and they don't want it.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Feels great to feel the sunshine. Gotta own the day like it's all mine. Just got paid in his own time. Been working hard, I've been on the grind. I deserve this feeling, having my way. I've been on this healing. This is my day. The sun's out, let's have a little fun now. I wanna let it all out. That's what it's all about. Cause I deserve this feeling, have it my way. I deserve this healing. This is my day.
Grind City Media presents The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt. Live from the Grind City Media Studios on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
What's up, everybody? Happy Thursday to you. Lots to get into today. Grizzlies win last night. Trade deadline later this afternoon, 6 hours away. First, I do want to address CJ starting this show by saying the lyrics or trying to push me into the lyrics of swimming pools. I have something to get off my chest, and we are creating the Kendrick Lamar set list for the Super Bowl in our third segment today, where we will predict what Kendrick Lamar sings. You said, pour up, and I said, nothing.
Which is odd because I'm assuming that swimming pools is on your, I don't know. Don't
it's on
give
my
it away.
short. It didn't make my cut.
Oh, well, don't give it away,
Okay,
Jessica.
fine.
It's a tease. You got to tease them a little bit.
Sorry.
So,
Find out in the third segment.
There we go. So I was assuming that your mind was on Kendrick. So when somebody says pour up and we're talking about
Right.
yeah, exactly.
But here's the issue.
What?
I thought it was pull up.
You did.
And here's the further issue. And I was going to say this before our segment, but I'll just say it at the top of the show because the fact that you did that is so perfect. There is no artist in this world who I have effed up their lyrics more than Kendrick Lamar.
I'd believe it.
So it is pour up. But to be fair, Jacob also thought it was pull up. So we were together.
Yeah. So the white lady up here thought it was pull up. The white dude downstairs thought it was
And
pull up.
during Black History Month.
And he's adamant. He's not apologizing for getting the lyric wrong.
I'm admitting I got it wrong.
Listen, y'all are arguing with me during the commercial about whether or not it's pull up or pour up during Black History Month, mind you.
It's pour up.
Y'all are awful allies.
My worst, I'll save the word, my second worst, and won't tell you if it makes my list, but Kendrick Lamar and SZA have a song called All the Stars.
Mm-hmm.
And in that song, they say, all the stars are closer. I spent years singing, all the stars are bullshit.
Why would that be in the song?
I don't know, but I did it so much that I convinced Chris that that was the lyric to the song. And we only recently, oh, no, you think that's bad? It gets worse. This is just something I do. I have trouble with, I hear it one way in my ear, I stick to that the rest of my life, and that's where we're at. What would you say Kendrick's most known song
I
is?
don't know.
Maybe
Damn
Humble?
or Humble?
I would say Humble's in there.
Okay.
It's the name of the song.
Humble, excuse me, not Damn. Humble from Damn. All right, go ahead.
It's the name of the song.
Yeah.
I thought it was. This is nerve-wracking. Mio Mole, sit down.
Sing it.
Mio Mole, sit down. For the longest time.
So be humble. Sit down.
Uh-huh.
Mio Mole.
You sing it normally, and I'll sing it with you.
Be
Mio
humble.
Mole,
Sit down.
Yeah. It's the name of the song. Humble.
Why would it be Mio Mole?
I thought it was in Spanish. I never took Spanish. I took French. It's a me problem. It feels
What?
better. It feels better to have gotten this out.
What?
But we can now add swimming pools to my 1, 2, 3.
You know
punch
he says
of
the B word in there before
horrible.
humble. So do you think it's B word Mia Mole?
Yeah.
I can't. You're beyond saving at this point.
I know.
You're
I know.
awful. You're
It's okay.
You're terrible.
82 Atlantic said JB showing her whiteness. I promise I do it with all lyrics.
No, this is beyond whiteness.
This is
not whiteness.
This is a universal issue for me.
Because you don't know the lyrics of like Vogue. I feel like we did try to do
we
that
just did
one.
that.
Yeah, we just
one
did
that
that.
always comes up. Taylor Swift. It's the lyric is star-crossed lovers, and I thought it was Starbucks lovers for the longest time.
What is wrong? Are you
I know.
listening to these songs more than once?
Yeah. Blank
oh my
space.
gosh.
Thank you. Jacob,
you and Jacob need help.
Jacob's here with
you
me.
and Jacob need
Jacob's
help.
with me. Jacob in the chat said, "Do I have ear dyslexia?"
You might.
I have great hearing.
No, you
I just
don't.
don't hear correctly.
That's what?
All right,
That's not how that
I got
works.
this off my chest on my birthday, no less. Phew, feels much better. You want to know what else feels
Do you
good?
know the song "The Happy Birthday"?
Happy birthday, choo choo.
Go to one.
Well, Grizzlies have won 10 of the last 11 games. Let's hit the highlights from last night and go ahead and crank up Jock Jams Volume 1. Let's all party like it's 1995. Grizz Raptors, throwback unis, throwback court. John Morant had them like totally bugging. Imagine trying to explain to someone 30 years ago what a Jaren Jackson Jr. is. It'd be tough. Grizz down 2 late in the first half. Ja puts a little do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. The pass to Brandon Clark for the slam. Grizzlies would trail 59-53 at half. And then the Grizzlies start chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool. Shooting some b-ball outside of the school. Ja with the buckets. Ja with the casual touchdown pass to Jalen Wells. This game made me want a go-gurt and a dunkaroo real bad. Grizzlies up 1 later in the third. This is how they do it. The second halves, Ja with the back-ended up and in. Up 4 a little bit later. He just hit a 3. How about another? Mixtape available at Blockbuster. Go ahead, be kind, rewind. And F is for fired up. It is insane in the membrane trying to stop this. They keep trying with Jaren Jackson Jr., though. A 43-point third quarter for the Grizz. Led 96-84 going into the fourth. Big night for the Big Maple. Not the Leaf, not the syrup, but the man, Zach Edey. 3 straight double-doubles for the rookie. And why can't dinosaurs play basketball? Because they went extinct 66 million years ago to make room for Jaren to walk the earth. His third straight 30-plus point game. Stop, they're already dead. Vince, Marcus, Scotty, there's a Pippin on the court. It really is the 90s as the Grizz win 138-107. I love the 90s. Did you know that the stop, they're already dead came from 1995? That was a Simpsons episode in the year 1995.
I hadn't heard that.
I've never heard stop. You've never seen the meme?
No.
Stop, they're already dead.
No.
Wow.
No.
Learn your meme. I'll learn my lyrics when you learn your memes.
If the algorithm doesn't present it to me, I'm not going to see it.
You did perfectly wear your Rugrats jacket on this beautiful 90s day. And Reptar. I was going to make a Reptar joke, but you always tell me that Reptar is not a dinosaur.
You knock yourself out today.
What is
it's
he?
your birthday. He's a dragon.
He's
he
a
breathes
dragon.
fire.
Reptar. I should have brought my Cynthia doll in.
Reptar, gotta have that Reptar. You remember the Reptar, the musical on Ice?
Yes.
In the show?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was a fun part of I think that was a video game stage also. And anyways. Yeah.
Anyway, I just kept watching the game last night, and I was like, God, I love this court so much. God, I love these jerseys so much. And I love watching the Grizzlies score 80 5 points in the second half? 83 points? It was 80-plus points in the second half of last night's game against the Toronto Raptors. They have been excellent in the second half of games. This is a really, really good basketball team. Like, as we sit here 6 hours away from the trade deadline, we will figure out if there is a move to be made that makes sense for the Grizzlies. As the day goes on, we'll get into what some of those potentials could be, of course. This is a really, really good basketball team. Like, sitting next to Chris Luther, longtime Golden State Warriors fan, my husband, don't knock it, grew up in the Bay Area, born and raised. And he said, this Grizzlies team reminds me of the 2017 Warriors, the team that went like 16-1 in the postseason, but won 67 games in the regular season. Obviously, the Grizzlies not on pace to win 67 games, but he meant it in a way they would play mid or bad. They wouldn't be playing great. A lot of turnovers. At one point last night for the Grizzlies, I think they had 13 turnovers to the Raptors 4, and you're thinking...
It was like 8 or 9 in the first quarter?
Yeah, it was bad. And you're like, oh, well, maybe they overlooked this Raptors team, and they're looking ahead to Saturday's game, which is going to be incredible here at FedEx Forum between the Grizzlies and the Thunder, 1 versus 2 in the Western Conference. A real opportunity for the Grizzlies to get some revenge on a team that they struggled with in Oklahoma City late last year in 2024. But the thing like that, those Warriors teams, or that Warriors team particularly of 2017, they'd play really bad, they'd have a whole lot of turnovers, and then next thing you know, they're up 14, 16, 20. And in a blink, they have just put the pressure on and run away with a game. And that's what you saw from the Grizzlies. The Raptors have been playing much better basketball than what their now 16-35 record would suggest. And they made a big trade last night to get Brandon Ingram into the mix. And we'll go through that with all of the trades that happened late last night and into this morning. But the Grizzlies just imposed their will. And so much of it rests on Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. playing at the level that we have seen them play, particularly over these last 2 games, where both of them have had 25-plus points apiece in the win here at home the other night, the win last night against the Raptors. The only other time that they had done that this season, had 25-plus each, was the game against the Celtics, where they beat Boston earlier in this year. But you just see how they raised the ceiling of this group so much, and then everything else fills in along the parameters.
Yeah, and it feels like they're figuring out the proper mix and proper blend of, all right, this new offense where everybody's running around cutting in, it's not new anymore. The offense where everybody's running around cutting, there's not really a primary sort of ball handler. There are no pick and roll actions. They're not even doing fake pick and rolls like they've been like they were doing with Jonas and Steven Adams, right? It's just everybody moving. And the old offense where, hey, give Ja the ball and let's try and run some of these pick and rolls, right? Like it feels like they're beginning to find the balance in doing the two. Mm-hmm. And I think that makes them a really, really tough team to defend on the offensive side of the ball, because Jaren's going to do spectacular things in his own right, especially if you say, hey, just move around, make your big guy chase you around. And bigs don't want to do that, and they're not capable of doing that on the perimeter. Jaren takes advantage. But now Ja, with the ball in his hand primarily, as the pick and roll specialist that he is, with somebody the size of Zach Edey, who spent, I'm assuming, all of his life running pick and roll, right? I can't imagine you walk in and see a 6th grader standing 6'8", 6'9", and like, we're just going to stand him in the corner. No, you run pick and roll with that dude, so Zach Edey's comfortable.
He wasn't taking corner threes
No,
for
he's not.
His youth team.
I can't imagine that he was. So Zach Edey is comfortable in the pick and roll with John. They're getting a bit better with the chemistry component of that. So, yeah, I think this team, I don't know, like that 2017 Warriors team, you knew it was coming. You knew the inevitably, it didn't matter how much they were down by or up by, they were going to hit you with like an 18-5 run at some point in the game. And it's just, hey, did you build up a big enough lead to sustain that or not? I don't know if this team feels inevitable in the same way on the offensive side of the ball, but when John Jaren are playing like that, you throw in a healthy Desmond Bane, you bring a Luke Kennard in off of the bench offensively, this team is really, really dynamic in a way that a lot of teams aren't in the NBA right now.
Vince Williams Jr. made his return. Everyone made their return last night. Marcus Smart played. Vince Williams Jr., you saw him with 2 steals in like 20 seconds, and they ended up only crediting Vince with one of the steals, the one that we saw in the highlight package. I don't think that one counted, the one before it did. Anyway, you immediately saw the defensive acumen that Vince Williams Jr. flashed last season and why they're is a genuine excitement about him coming back into the mix and giving you one of those areas that is a perceived, not weakness necessarily, but just a bit of a hole on this team, and giving you a true defensive-minded, a psycho. Vince Williams Jr. is a psycho. Like, he wears the shirt under the jersey. We've said it what it is. Like, that's the kind of energy you need on the defensive side of things, because while the Grizzlies have been one of the best functioning offenses, their defense hasn't been spectacular this year. And so adding some of that oomph to it when you get into the bigger, more physical matchups that you're going to face throughout the season. G.G. Jackson had 17 points on 8 shots. He was 5 of 8 last night. He had 6 rebounds and an assist. He has now had back-to-back good contribution games coming off the bench. Can be one of those. Is he your 6-man scorer for this group? Luke had a bit of an off game. Jalen Wells, 7 points. I'd call it an off game at this point, but you're figuring out the plug-and-play nature, and now we will see if come 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Central Time, if there is a move for the Grizzlies to make. This morning, Ian Begley from SNY reported that several teams have talked to the Memphis Grizzlies about Marcus Smart. We've known this. I don't think that's any big grand surprise news. We'll get a little bit more into the rumors, the reported, alleged season that continues to trickle throughout the rest of this day. But first, we have to take a break. We'll get to Teresa Walker. We'll ask her about her expectations for what the Grizzlies could or should do at the trade deadline, what she has seen from around the NBA. The Super Bowl is on Sunday. The NBA trade deadline has taken up a lot of airspace leading up to Chiefs-Eagles, but we'll get her take on the biggest storylines coming up in the football world this weekend when we come back.
Sitting right next to me, am I right? The one and only Jay Huff. Were you comfortable there in your seat?
I'm great. You know, I've been adjusting it, playing around with the height settings.
What are you exactly? 7'1" or 7 even? Or
I say 7'2" because I wear shoes.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Our fans have a huge impact on our ability to play to the level that we're striving for.
Drop off, Durant. Oh! Well, you wanted home crowd involvement.
I love those moments where you see our guys engaging in the fans, and the fans just get pumped up.
They are standing in FedEx Forum.
I would hate to be on the other side with the opposition when FedEx Forum's rolling. That's such an unbelievable relationship that our group has with our fans.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, one exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
A night of comedy with Sebastian Maniscalco and Jim Gaffigan.
Now, is this a family? Is this your mother? Where is she? Is she in the crowd? You don't know where your mom is. The mom's up there. What kind of family is this? I'm sorry.
Sebastian Maniscalco and Jim Gaffigan.
I went ziplining for the last time.
What is wrong with us? Would you pay $200 to feel like you're about to die 6 times?
Live in Memphis, FedEx Forum, Friday, February 21st. Get tickets now at livenation.com.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
I did a video, and I thought it was pretty funny, and I said, well, I'm going to post it on TikTok and see what it does. You know, we watched Alabama beat Miami. We had no idea the video was blowing up the whole time we were beating Miami, or we would have kept doing it. Yeah. So I told
Tide roll.
The Tide, tell them, Willie. Tide roll, baby. That's what they do.
We always going to get beat because you cannot mess with the Tide.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
How about them
How
Tigers?
about
Go
the Tigers?
Go.
Beat Tulane in a game that nobody called. Nobody thought was going to happen. They were a 2-touchdown underdog, and they got the win.
Number 25 in the AP right now, number 24 in the coaches poll right now. So this is a Tigers football team that's going to end the regular season ranked in both major polls, possibly ranked in the CFP as well with 10 wins. That's a damn good season.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Welcome back on this NBA trade deadline Thursday. It is Thursday. That means we get to catch up with one of our favorites, Teresa Walker. Teresa, how are you doing this morning?
I am trying to wake up. It's a Thursday morning. Are we not all on the struggle bus? I mean, it's one of those days. I mean, NBA trades have been a popping for the last few days, and nothing is going to match Luka and AD. But it's like teams are trying. I mean, late last night, Dalton Connect going to Carolina, and I mean, it's like, and the deadline is what, 2:00 Central today. I'll just say, thank God the NHL trade deadline is the first Friday of March, because if they were too close together, I'd lose my mind.
You could have not. Don't want this to happen for you, Teresa. But National Signing Day was like 4 or 5 days ago. Also,
yesterday.
No,
yesterday.
It was yesterday.
It was yesterday.
Yeah, because I used to show up to National Signing Day. It was always the 5th, wasn't it?
Well, it was always the first Wednesday in February.
Okay, yes, because there were times where my birthday either fell on National Signing Day or the day after. I just remember 2 specific instances, and the statute of limitations has long gone, but where we went pretty hard with some friends the day before National Signing Day, and then jumping to like 9 high schools starting at 7 a.m. the next morning trying to get to all the local kids who were signing. I had a real tough time in a Cordova bathroom at one point in my life, but I miss National Signing Day. I know, I'm old school. I miss the funny stories of National Signing Day.
It's disappeared. I mean, there's now the 2 signing periods, and it's December where, I mean, I don't think University of Tennessee had anyone sign yesterday because between the portal, that has taken dominance because you're literally getting, most times, experienced players, and that early signing period where guys just want to get, it does its purpose. Guys want to get it off the table, get done, and get off the market so they don't have to worry about it anymore. So, yeah, it literally was, I don't even know if it was a blip yesterday, and that's a sign of just how insane the college sports landscape has become, that they cannibalized one of their big off-season days.
Yeah,
if it were the NFL, do you think that would have happened?
No. Although I will say the NBA trade deadline has cannibalized the conversation of Super Bowl week. So, but that's like a tip for tap because the NFL stole Christmas. So, something's got to give. Did you ever have a crazy signing day story? Did you ever have to go out?
I was at Brentwood Academy when Jalen Ramsey signed.
Oh, wow.
Well, he was one of the top prospects in the entire country. So I was asked to go out there and feed to our signing day story. And I will just say this, though. Jess, the sign of you being out there as struggle bus as it was that day, that's the sign of a true professional. You can do something, but you have to be there on time and do your job if you're going to be a professional in the media landscape. Just saying.
I hit like 6 schools that day. It was a crazy signing day, and it also included something that was a quick sobering up moment. I was at Trezevant High School. There was a young man named Cordarian Richardson who rushed for over like 5,000 yards here at Trezevant. He was awesome. He was 90% certain to go to Ole Miss. So, of course, we're in Memphis. Ole Miss is close. It's a kid going to an SEC school. That's when you got to be at. We show up. He's an hour late to his signing. His coach is there, and his coach starts being like, oh, God, what was his coach's name? It doesn't matter. Memphis high school coaching legend. And he's like, he might not show up. He starts like dogging the kid a little bit, like can't trust him to show up. He's not going to show up to his signing day. We all are collectively, as the media, saying we're going to give him 5 more minutes because we can't miss. Like, if he commits to Ole Miss and we don't get the video of him committing, like we all failed at our jobs today. We wait. Twitter pops up. This man decided to drop a video of him committing from outer space. That's what he called it. I am committing from outer space, not from Dresden High School, from outer space. And he surprisingly flipped to Maryland out of nowhere. And then he never ended up at Maryland. I think he ended up at Central Florida for a bit, maybe at FIU for a little bit. Anyway, I was always rooting for you, Cordarian Richardson, because you gave me a story that I will never forget from a signing day. And that's what they've taken from us, Teresa. But that's okay.
But that's okay because, I mean, shoot, the Tennessee and Virginia, and by the way, that lawsuit against the NCAA that the AG's filed, that was settled last Friday, which feels like a whole century ago.
Yeah.
On NIL deals for recruits. So recruits can negotiate and know what they're getting before they do commit to a high school. I mean, go from high school to a college and know what they're getting. And hopefully they have a lawyer looking at the paperwork to make sure that of what they're signing, unlike some kids who are out there in the college landscape. I'll just say this, little tip of career advice. How you treat the first big moment in your life as an adult, it will follow you through life.
It's true. That is absolutely true. That is very true. Teresa, so many big moments to get to. We'll obviously get to the Super Bowl with you, but I did want to get your take as you sit there in Nashville. It is NBA trade deadline day. As you said, nothing will match when we all collectively did not believe the Shams notification that Luka was going from the Mavs to the Lakers. Now the Lakers somehow had to give up more for Mark Williams from the Charlotte Hornets, who I do love as a lob threat for Luka, but had to give up more assets, more capital than they had to give for Luka Doncic, which is insane. Dalton Connect now with the Hornets, the big move, Jimmy Butler to the Warriors last night. But for the Memphis Grizzlies, that is where our focus is here. And as the trade world goes around them, there are reports this morning that conversations are being had about Marcus Smart. Obviously nothing of traction as of yet. But from your chair, the Grizzlies, as they sit right now this morning, winners of 10 of their last 11 games, they're second in the West, 35-16. Do they need to make a trade by the end of today for your confidence to increase in their abilities as a true contender? Or is there a comfortability right now with the group that they've got?
I don't think they have to make a trade. I mean, Marcus Smart was acquired. Why? To bring some experience and veteranship to the locker room. Yeah, I know that's not a word. Don't get on me. It's still early and I haven't had caffeine. But I mean,
veteranship is a word.
It's a word now.
That's a word. I'm pretty sure veteranship is a word.
Well, thank you, because I'm still waking up. It's one of they just needed to be healthy, and we need to see them continue to build on this. But their biggest issue, they've been the 2 seed in the West twice and struggled to get past the second round. And this is an older group. They've got some battle scars now. Remember when they went up against the Warriors, and the Warriors were all kind of like Big Brother with their hand on their head, and it's like, you got to get some scars. Well, they've got some of those now. Going through last year, as painful as it was, and not being in the playoffs, it doesn't get more painful than that. So, they have grown up, I think. I think they appreciate it. To me, it's just a matter of them being healthy enough and staying on the court and working through just finding that rhythm and building the chemistry that they need with this roster available. I mean, if I'm Zach Kleiman, I don't feel I've got to make a deal. I know that there's been talk and swirling here, there, and that, and the person that put Draymond Green in a Grizzlies uniform, just no, don't speak that on us. But I sit still, let everybody else make a move, and just keep building. And to use an old school term in Memphis, grind a bit, and make this work so that you're ready to go. I mean, guys. It looked like OKC was going to run away with the 1 seed in the West. And suddenly with this spurt by the Grizzlies, they are, I'm not going to say in realm of chasing down OKC, but it's certainly something you can think of. But the biggest thing now is we sit here on February 6th is get your chemistry together. Get your timing. Work on we're seeing more pick and roll out of Zach Edey and John Morant. Work on the offense and things like that, and just keep building the chemistry and the rhythm that you've got so that you can be peaking into May and hopefully into June. Because if that happens, I don't care what the Lakers are doing. They're trying to get LeBron one more title and to be relevant. And I know that Luka is impressive. That is not insignificant what they did. But let's just see if that's a group that can really survive, because, they put together. And by the way, the fact that he didn't call anybody but the Lakers, I mean, Adam Silver, have a conversation. It just feels like it's shades of Patrick Ewing to the Knicks. I'm just saying, if you want to be conspiracy theorists there. But if I'm the Grizzlies, baby, I'm feeling good this morning, because it's like, I don't have to.
Right. It's
set the terms.
A feel good no matter what. Right. Like
Yes.
if the right deal presents itself, go for it. If the right package gets put together for a guy like a Cam Johnson who gives you more shooting,
Yes.
who gives you someone else who spaces the floor, sure. But you don't have to. You're not in a position where you feel as if you have to force, and that is a luxury.
Yes, and that's where they're at. Don't reach. Like the Titans are praying that somebody will put together a great package and want the #1 pick in April. If the Grizzlies are in a position where they do not have to make a move, so make somebody reach to you, give you a little, sweeten that pot as they push it to the table. Don't hand over anything you don't want to at this point.
CJ, what trade were you wanting to present to
Teresa, got a trade for you, baby. Memphis gives Nashville. I don't know if we want to give all of the Huey's locations, but we give Nashville 2 Huey's locations. We take 2 Huey's, we drop them off in Nashville. You, in turn, give us San Antonio Taco. Can we make that happen?
Yeah, but I will say that, because it is trade deadline, I realized after we discussed this a teeny bit that in addition to Huey's, I want Gibson's.
Huey's and Gibson's? For Satco? You throw in Sweats and we got a deal.
I don't think you can definitively make that. I think you need to consult with the rest of the ownership group here.
Satco and Sweats for Huey's and Gibson's? We got good donuts in the city.
Yeah, but
and
Gibson's is an
Nashville has-
institution.
But it would do so much better here. I'm just saying, I could see it down.
Tell you what. Okay.
And I can't even eat their donuts anymore.
Gibson's, Huey's. You guys get that. You give us Satco, Prince's, and Pancake Shop.
Oh, Pancake Shop.
Ooh.
Let's go. Listen, I'm trying to work with you here, Teresa. I'm trying to get you what you want.
I'll throw in one additional thing that we'll take from you as you try to shed not salary, but woo-woo girls. We will take at least 10 party buses from you and a commitment.
Wait a damn minute.
And a commitment of 1/4 of the bachelorette parties. We help our economy. We take away some of the stresses from you. It's a sacrifice.
Ooh, that is, I like that, because getting rid of even a couple of pedal taverns filled with woo girls would be absolutely worth it. So
we get the pancakes, the chicken, and the tacos.
And
wait a minute, you got Gus's.
You got Gus's. What do you mean?
Yeah, we didn't ask for Hattie B's. We have Hattie B's.
You've got Hattie B's. I mean, that's the thing. You need to now. I Pancake Shop. I have to admit, the line for that one is always so long. So it's like, I'll throw that one in. And Satco, it's like, you can have that because, in my house, if you can't make your own, Mexican food, then you're in trouble. Because, I grew up raised by, people who, lived from Texas. So I know how to make my own tacos and such. So you can have Satco. I'll throw in Pancake Shop. We might not be able to get rid of Sweats because I don't want everybody in Nashville coming after me. Prince's.
Okay, you can't. If Prince's is off limits, Prince's is off limits. I'm hearing there are some barbecue shops up there though that might fit with what we're trying to do as a system in the Memphis area. Are there some barbecue spots that you guys be willing to come up out of?
Well, I tell you, I mean, Martin's and Edley's are at the top of my list, and I can't go wrong with either of them.
Let's talk Martin's.
She said she can't part with either.
You can't part with Martin. We're parting with Huey's and Gibson's.
That's
all right.
And you'll give us Martin's.
We get Martin's.
So we get Martin's, Satco, Pancake Shop,
and we take some
Pancake
girls.
Corner, or whatever it is.
And
We
some
take some woo girls.
Yeah.
You guys get Gibson's, Huey's.
How many Huey's?
The whole thing.
Oh.
Get the whole Huey's thing.
Okay.
And is that it?
I'll be happy with that.
Shake on
it. Pleasure doing business with you. This is how we sign our trades in this world. Teresa, before we let you go, even though trade talk has truly taken over everywhere, people are talking about the Super Bowl. I paused because I was going to say, no one's talking about the Super Bowl. And I hate when we do that because, of course, plenty of people are. ESPN has all of their shows in New Orleans starting today, and everything will start to rev up ahead of Sunday's matchup between the Chiefs and the Eagles. For you, what is the number one storyline going into this weekend for Super Bowl LIX?
The Chiefs going for what they said can't be done because, let's be honest, with the salary cap and the way the NFL is today, nobody has won 3 straight Lombardi trophies. I know the Packers did 3 straight titles twice when it was the NFL championship, but with the advent and explosion of NFL football everywhere, it is tougher to do. Tom Brady never did it. I saw Fox Sports was tweeting out a ton of Tom Brady stats last night. And it's like, oh, get off my timeline. We're talking NBA tonight. And it's like, what Patrick Mahomes has done, I mean, him and Andy Reid have put together something incredible. So I know that Roger Goodell was asked about the officiating, perceptively helping the Chiefs. But for them, if they can go out there and do that, that is going to be amazing. And especially, guys, I think we almost forgot how close it was the last time these teams met, 35-32. And, Jalen Hurts, can he be driven to get that one play made that he didn't get made the last time? So they've got Saquon Barkley. The Chiefs defense is better. So this is, and we'll be watching. I'll watch mostly for the commercials on Sunday because I haven't been able to see them all. I know I sent you one more last night.
Teresa, stop. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm like, Teresa, stop. You're gonna ruin the commercials for me. I don't watch them.
No, I'm even in a worse place. I'm so tired of being sold things all the time. If I could, I'd watch the games and boycott the commercials. I'd watch the game, I'd watch the halftime show, and for the first time in my life, I want the volume off. If people are talking at the party I'm at, I don't care. Ruin the commercials. We can't escape advertising. I'm so sick of it.
Just because it's being advertised to you doesn't mean you got to go out and buy it.
I understand, but every corner of every moment of every day is an advertisement. I can't even watch something on Max anymore without an advertisement popping up. I can't watch a game without something going into a 3-box and then suddenly there's an ad in the corner or all the cross promotion. I can't take it anymore.
There's no advertising in the end zone. They're choosing love.
What's the other one? There was one other one other than choose love. What's the other one? Do you know?
Well, they're replacing end racism, so apparently that's been finished. But I'm just going to say this.
We did it.
You kids, you're so spoiled. For those of us who remember really bad blowout Super Bowls for ad nauseum, we lived for the commercials. We needed the commercials. And here you are so spoiled with great football that you're just wanting to get through the commercials and back to the game. Oh, my God. That's what the NFL has wrought.
I didn't see a good Super Bowl till 1999.
Yes!
Like that was I went from 87 till 99 and there was not a good Super Bowl out there. Yeah, you're right.
You sent the Matthew McConaughey Uber Eats commercial to us last night. That's the one. It looks good. It's fine.
It's funny. I mean, Omaha Steaks. Not in a cup, in a bowl. I mean, that one is good.
Who are you taking in the game, Teresa?
I'm taking the Chiefs. I'm not coming off of them because, again, I need Philly to show that they can do it. And the Chiefs know how to close. Patrick Mahomes does it over and over again.
Until I see them not do it, I have to trend into thinking that they will.
Real
I'm an
quick,
Eagles fan
I
now,
said
though.
pancake shop, Teresa. I want to be clear. I don't want a situation where we get the wrong thing in the trade because we're
Pancake
confusing
Pantry.
the name.
Oh, Which Brooks? Never
Pancake
forget
Pantry.
Which Brooks.
Right. So Pancake Pantry, not Pancake Shop. Y'all was sending Pancake Pantry down this way. Think about the breakfast scene.
That was my favorite of the Luka trade. I think it was Gary who said it, but someone he was with, their response was, did they mean Luka Garza? We got the wrong Luka. Oopsie. My bad. I talked to you, CJ, the morning of the wrong Brooks trade. That happened on a Saturday morning. What Tigers game was going on?
It happened Friday night. We had the show
Friday night
Saturday.
into Saturday. There was an early big Memphis Tigers basketball game.
I can't remember who the Tigers were
Was it
playing.
the Tennessee game?
Maybe.
The Bald Fist game?
No, it wasn't the Ball Fist game.
I think it was.
I was down there when that happened, so I don't know if it was that game.
I thought the Brooks stuff happened long before the Bald Fist game. Not my perception of time is off.
So is mine always.
Well, hey, COVID, the pandemic has affected all of our internal calendars, so there you go. It's okay.
It's an
Yes.
excuse. Teresa,
Yes.
we'll catch up with you next week. We'll see you then. Bye. That was Teresa Walker. You can find all her latest up at the Associated Press. Did she fleece us? Did we win the trade or lose the trade?
Listen, you're telling me, think about the breakfast scene in this city now. Automatic Slim, Sunrise, and
Liquor store,
Hive, and you add into that Pancake Pantry, we might become a brunch capital. Right? We might.
Slow your roll. We got some room to go.
I mean, listen,
until we get there.
With that group right there, with that core at the center of your breakfast and your brunch, hey, it's up there.
I also think taking a couple woo girls, like I understand the sentiment is of annoyance, but that's because in Nashville, they're everywhere. If you just get a couple, nobody loves to feed into the economy more than people who are drunkenly forced to all gather with people they don't really know to support a bride and spend money that they weren't intending to spend anyway. So they just knock a couple back, and next thing you know, they're going to all of those breakfast places.
I mean, we probably should have tried to throw in like the Coliseum.
I want the Ryman.
Should have tried to throw that
They
in
would never
there.
give it.
No, they're not. I think the Ryman is untouchable.
I think Ryman and Grand Ole Opry are probably
I
both
feel
untouchable.
like those are untouchable.
But I'd love to. I thought Luca was untouchable. This has made me mad. This has made me crazy.
What else did we get from them? We got Satco. We got Woo Woo Girls. We got Pancake Pantry.
We got the Barbecue Martins.
We got Martin.
We didn't get Princes though, which
We didn't
actually
get
bums me
Princes.
out.
But like, we got really good donuts in the city outside of Gibson's also.
Yeah, but
though.
they have really good donuts that now they've just taken the donut game. They have, what's the place called? Jacob, like cool, Five Daughters. I had like a s'mores donut once from the Five Daughters on my drive back from a high school basketball tournament. Oh my God.
And listen, man, like Memphis isn't known for burgers anyway, so you kind of like ship Huey's away, and I know that's going to be tough for people.
I will miss their chicken tenders.
That's going to be tough for people around
Yeah.
here. Huey's is a cool spot to be in and kick it, and is one of the few like family-friendly sports bar types of things where you can take the kids there and you can watch the games on the TV while the kids eat. Like, yo, I'm fine with that. I think we did well.
Vance said Nico Hurt is my producer.
Well, hey, I didn't know people was riding for Huey's and Gibsons
That's
like
funny.
that. But
All right.
you're damn right. We got good stuff.
We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll get into a couple trade theories as we continue to embark on this NBA trade deadline day. CJ and I will come up with our set lists for Kendrick Lamar's halftime show. I will probably get more lyrics wrong. It's just a guess at this point, but we'll figure out what Kendrick is singing and who he's singing it with. Will there be special guests outside of the one that we already know in SZA? We'll get into all that, NBA trade deadline, and more when we come back.
Can't wait. It's time to get it popping. It's gonna be crazy. The fans are gonna be loud. We need just energy.
We're gonna need, the Forum rocking. We're gonna need, everybody in Memphis to be out there to come to support.
When the fans are good, we're good. Simple as that.
A Bane three, yes sir! Desmond Bane with ice water in his veins.
We'll ride the energy together.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, one exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Anticipate each challenge. Make a quick response. Capitalize on every opportunity and win. Greatness won't wait. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
It's your turn to drive into luxury at Southland Casino Hotel. Join us on Saturdays to win your share of up to $1 million in free play and prizes. And don't miss the chance to take home luxury itself during the grand finale drawings. Drive off in a 2025 Land Rover on February 1st or a 2025 Range Rover on March 1st. 2 vehicles, 2 finales, 1 million ways to enjoy luxury only at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 or up. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing compares to catching your Grizzlies IRL. And that all starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight. Put that jersey collection to use for the next game and get Grizzlies tickets at Ticketmaster. Whether they're here at FedEx Forum or on the road, Ticketmaster's got your back when it comes to scoring tickets. And there's no better brag than saying you saw it live.
Derrick Rose was honored in Chicago this weekend.
That was cool.
Former Memphis Tiger. One of the things I've noticed about him, he's immensely respected by his peers.
Yes.
People love him. People love Derrick Rose. I don't know exactly how to pinpoint it, but he matters to people. The impact that guy made in his hometown, on that franchise, and just on basketball in general, he deserves. There ain't an honor you could give him that I would argue with.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
If I was a high school player, or if, let's say I'm the father of a child who's 16 years old, and Mike Vick comes knocking on my kid's door, and Virginia's there also, and so is Virginia Tech, I'm like, yo, you gotta go where Vick is. You gotta go to Norfolk State. Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning into HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Welcome back. I cannot wait until it is past 2 p.m. Central Time and we know the final ending of the NBA trade deadline, because it's been a lot. It's been a lot to keep up with. And given that we kind of entered this week with the expectation of the big move being what would happen with Jimmy Butler, would he find a way out of Miami or not? And then other than that, is anything going to happen? It's wild how much has happened on top of that. We did finally get Jimmy Butler to the Golden State Warriors last night. The Warriors give up Andrew Wiggins and a first who are going to Miami. They also give up Dennis Schroeder, who, unfortunately for Dennis Schroeder, compared the NBA to modern-day slavery and then got sent to the Utah Jazz from the Golden State Warriors. Grizzlies now have to play Dennis Schroeder 2 more times this season. 2 more times.
Utah wasn't around, but they got like big slave owner energy. Like they'd be a slave state. They'd be a part of the Confederacy. So it does.
Most likely.
It does suck for him. Also, what a ridiculous statement as you're making millions of dollars.
Well, and then did you see, that was a ridiculous statement, but then his other statement from yesterday about the Warriors and entering this period of having a good team, and like being able to finally be comfortable with the Warriors and moving onwards, and then he's no longer on the Golden State Warriors. And his son had said after Schroeder was traded to the Warriors, he was like, we feel so lucky. Now it's a good team at least. And now you're on the Jazz, planting your flag for Cooper Flag. So Dennis Schroeder's been everywhere.
Yes, he has.
And he's such a little gnat.
Yes.
And now the Grizzlies get to face him 2 more times. I cannot think of another time, I'm sure there has been in some NBA history at some point, where a team has played a player on 3 different teams throughout the same season.
That is a good question.
That is a rarity.
We need the GCM stats and info department on that.
We do, because we had Schroeder on the Brooklyn Nets, Looked like he wanted to fight.
Mm-hmm.
Then he got traded to the Warriors right before the Grizzlies played the Warriors. So we saw Schroeder with the Warriors. And now, presumably, as long as he stays with the Utah Jazz, the Grizzlies have 2 more games against the Jazz this season. So should be a fun time for Schroeder. It was him and a second going to the Jazz. And I love how the Jazz just keep showing up in these big trades. Like, who is going to be one of the additional teams?
We will.
It's the Jazz.
We'll help facilitate.
Also, the Pistons, who got Lindy Waters goes from the Warriors to the Pistons. Josh Richardson goes from the Heat to the Pistons. PJ Tucker goes from Utah to Miami. And then Kyle Anderson is stuck in limbo mode because Toronto was supposed to be the third team involved. And now the Heat are holding on to him and seeing if he can be a part of a different package today. The Raptors ended up, after the Grizzlies game last night, trading for Brandon Ingram. And they got rid of Bruce Brown, Kelly Olynyk, a first and a second, all going to New Orleans. It's been a lot. Jimmy to the Warriors. I do live with a Warriors fan, as I often mention. He's cool with it. Happy that they did something. Sad to lose Andrew Wiggins. Listening to Steve Kerr talk about Andrew Wiggins, who just had a baby boy. One of his kids just started school in the area. And Steve Kerr sounded genuinely sad to lose Andrew Wiggins. I think despite everything that happened with the time that he missed when his father died and the time that he had to step away from the team, there was a genuine care factor there for him. I think he fits in perfectly with Miami and gives them the role that Jimmy Butler was supposed to be, and probably even gives them maybe a little more scoring in that standpoint. For Jimmy, it's a star next to Steph Curry. And it also gives you Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green on the same team, which is potential fireworks. We've only seen Draymond Green punch one teammate in his lifetime.
He cursed out Kevin Durant.
He did curse out Kevin.
He probably would have punched KD had KD not had the good sense to back up a little bit.
That's what I thought about yesterday when apparently a deal was this close to being done, sending Kevin Durant to the Warriors, sending Jimmy Butler to the Sun.
Yeah.
And then Kevin Durant, reportedly, according to Shams, was like, I am not going to the Golden State Warriors. He did not want to go back. That man did not want another go around the sun with Draymond Green as his teammate.
Yeah, well, dude tried to fight me.
And it didn't end well. I mean, the whole KD situation did not end in a positive place.
What do you mean it didn't end well?
He was never happy with how the injury was treated. He was unhappy there at the end.
Okay.
He wanted out. So usually when you want out of a place, you're not clamoring to go back to the place that you
I get you.
objectively wanted to leave at one point in
I only
your life.
remember the
championship,
like,
the good times.
That's all I remember.
The happy times, the best of times.
Because I wasn't going. Draymond wasn't trying to punch me in the face at practices. I wasn't going through that. So
yeah.
I get that. I don't know. This trade.
I think it's a win for everyone.
I don't think it's a win for anybody.
Oh, I do.
I don't think that the Heat, in acquiring what they acquired, have positioned themselves in any sort of a better position without making another move or two, moving Wiggins and something else. They seem to be hell-bent on keeping your hero and your Bam. And
now they have Bam playing next to Ware.
And so they seem to be hell-bent on just rolling that out there. But no, this doesn't make them they're not close to
a contender.
And they're not close to the middle of the pack, right? I don't think that this puts them ahead of Atlanta for the foreseeable future. And then on the other side of things for the Warriors, Jimmy is a really good scorer right now. He's a tremendous defender as well right now on the perimeter. He gives you somebody that you know is going to come in there and simply make winning plays. And that's so hard to find in the NBA at an elite level, at a high level. We saw Jimmy drag the Heat to a couple of NBA Finals appearances. But I think until you decide, all right, it's time to officially shut the door on the Steph Curry, Steve Kerr, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson Warriors, you're kind of just going to be piddling about there in the 8-9 range.
And I appreciate that they're at least, or I should say, my husband is appreciative, and happy spouse, happy house, appreciative that they're at least trying to do something. To not just let the Steph Curry end float into the distance. Not necessarily that they are a contender, because I don't think that with this move. But if you get into the playoffs, if the Warriors can position themselves to at least make the playoffs, you have playoff Jimmy. He has the nickname for a reason. Him and Draymond Green, from a defensive standpoint, that's a nightmare. And the defensive acumen and intelligence level between those two players, Draymond might kick you in the nuts too, but he's one of the best defenders that we have seen. And then you throw in the magic of Steph. That said, other than that, I don't know who's going to score. Like, Steph Curry is it. They did keep Jonathan Kuminga. They have been very committed to keeping Jonathan Kuminga, but...
Okay, what is Kuminga, though? Can Kuminga shoot all of a sudden? I don't know it. Okay.
No, he
All
cannot.
right. Okay.
So again, we go back to the who is scoring on this team
All right.
outside of Steph Curry.
So they sneak into the playoffs. Cool. They get bounced in the first round.
Yeah.
So again, what is over? That window is shut. You tried. You
But
kept
Jimmy
it
did
open
sign
as
a
long as you
2-year
can do.
extension.
He did. What? 111?
112.
112.
112.
Okay.
And that extension lines up with the last 2 years of Curry and Green's contracts.
So I guess in 2 years you shut the door then. I don't know if you're going to try and move on from some of these dudes before then, but in 2 years you kind of got to let it play out. It's like, watching, you ever hit like a insect, like a fly with a fly swatter, and it's laying there kind of sort of twitching.
Yeah, it still has life.
It still has life, but like, okay, this thing is done. Step on
Put
it.
it out of its
Put it out of
misery.
its misery. That's what this Warriors franchise needs to do with this era. It's like, okay, all right, we got the new arena. We got the butts and seats enough for us to pay for a new arena.
Yeah.
It's thank you guys for your service, Steph and Dre. Y'all got to go. Sorry. Wish you guys could retire here. And you can if you take significant pay cuts. You can if you change your role with this team. But, sorry, it's over. The ending comes for everything, and it's not a pretty ending most of the time.
No.
Unless you're John
And there were
Elway.
some real high points along the way.
4? Come on, man.
I mean, Klay Thompson always reminded you. He's got the 4. As it pertains to the Grizzlies, as we sit here, it's 8:58 a.m. CJ, do the Grizzlies make a move by the end of the day? Yes or no? Your prediction. Official prediction.
No. Okay. Take that back.
Okay.
No, I don't take it back. No.
No.
I don't take it back. I say no. Because Teresa laid it out pretty well. The Grizzlies they're good. They're good.
They're really good. They're better than good.
They're good as is. Could they be better? Yes, if the right move came about, if the right opportunity came about, but they're not pressured into overpaying for something because they're good. And what this front office is, if they're nothing, they're smart, they're shrewd, they know they're good. And so then it becomes, who out here can we rob? Which one of you dummies is going to give us everything for a couple of pieces here? And I think everybody in the league, the Grizzlies aren't sneaking up on anybody. I think everybody in the league knows that this is a shrewd front office and knows that the Grizzlies are good right now and know that the Grizzlies are trying to take everything from you in a trade. And I think teams might be a bit hesitant to do so, fearing what the Grizzlies could do with additional assets via drafts or actual role players right now. So
The Grizzlies front office has been one of those apex predator front offices. There are some front
approaching
offices.
Ainge status, aren't they? Getting close to that Ainge range where it is, okay, if they want something from me, they must see something I don't. Look at all the players they have developed. Hell,
Prestige status,
right? They've grabbed 2 dudes from Lakers Summer League and Lakers G League players. It was like, oh no, Scottie Pippen Jr. and this J Huff fella, they're actual NBA players.
And Scottie Pippen Jr. is out there hitting 4 threes last night for the Grizzlies, and everyone's going crazy on it. I will say, the front office, both from the business side of things and then also the development side of things, they deserve to take some victory laps. The players that they have hit on late in the draft, there is a true belief that there is something special. Now, I certainly understand the argument of you can only have so many, this is something special on one team. We saw they went 11 deep last night before we reached garbage time. We have talked, this has to cut down, and then who do you take minutes from? And if you have that many players on the roster, you might as well utilize it and try to turn it into something better. That is something that can still happen in the offseason as well. I know that Marcus Smart is the hot person to look at today. It was interesting timing and funny timing that he comes back yesterday, that everybody comes back outside of Desmond Bane, who's still dealing with the foot sprain, but hopefully maybe we could see him on Saturday against the Oklahoma City Thunder. I know the Thunder just announced that they expect Chet Holmgren to be available coming up. The Thunder have a back-to-back Friday-Saturday, so if he were to play Friday, maybe he wouldn't play Saturday, but we'll see what that looks like. You could get full-strength, healthy teams. Marcus Smart goes 0-6 last night, but he was alive, and he was on the basketball court. And I will not be mad if Marcus Smart is still on this roster for a myriad of reasons, but one of the most being he has been to the promised land. He has been to the NBA Finals, and that experience holds actual value. I understand it's not something that you can see throughout the regular season. It is not something that you can see when he's going 0-for-6 shooting, and some fans think to themselves, oh, let's figure out a way to make this something better. Let's figure out a way to make this Cam Johnson, who's never had a career where he's shot less than 37% from three. And sure, that's tantalizing in itself, but you don't have to. Like, the Grizzlies are in a very privileged position right now. If something works out, great. If it doesn't, you don't have to do anything. I did find myself in the weeds of, this is the most reportedly, allegedly, hypothetically thing that I've probably ever said on the show. There's this guy named Sean Wright, NBA, on Twitter. Have you seen him? Yeah. Okay, he doesn't have low follower count. No disrespect, but low on the follower count. He has, let's see, 1,878 followers. So if you think he's like an NBA guru, an NBA insider, usually that's like tell number one. When I'm telling my mom how to figure out if she's reading something fake on the internet, I have all these tells, and follower count would be one. It's certainly not everything, but it could at least give you an idea. I think this guy's fake. I don't know. He popped up like 4 years ago and seemed to have some intel on the Bucks, but people have found that his profile picture is a fake headshot from justheadshots.com. So anyone can find a headshot on justheadshots.com. But here's why I was interested. He seemingly called the temperature shift of Kevin Durant turning into Jimmy Butler going to the Warriors yesterday. He pre-called the Brandon Ingram to the Raptors news last night. He has been big on Bucks activity. He posted the Kuzma-Middleton trade the night before it happened. He called the Jericho Sims move to Milwaukee before it happened. And he thinks that a larger deal is coming on the Milwaukee front. So the thing I am looking for today, because of this random man named Nick Wright, NBA, who you should not listen to, and you shouldn't listen to me listening to Nick Wright, but just from the intrigued standpoint of counting down to trade deadline, he says that Memphis and Milwaukee have talked about a deal that would send Marcus Smart to Milwaukee, Bobby Portis, Pat Connaughton, and Marjon Beauchamp all involved along with draft compensation, but that Memphis is interested in rerouting contracts to potentially focus on landing Cam Johnson. And that's what you missed on Connect the Dots of the Internet of the morning. I hate this time of year. I mean, I love this time of year. And I'm not like a full
30 followers, but yeah. and he's hit on two of them. It's like, all right, we gotta listen to this guy.
Lisan Al-Gaib? Come on, you remember. I taught you. Lisan Al-Gaib? Timothy Chalamet?
Oh,
Dune?
Okay.
The
There
Prophecy?
we go. There we go. Okay, I'm back.
This will never make sense that you're not into Dune.
I'm
of
sorry.
all the things.
I don't know.
Thanks. All right. It's Sean Wright. Did I say Nick Wright?
You did say Nick Wright.
Nick Wright's that other guy. No, he's a real person.
No, Nick Wright is real.
Sean Wright. Unclear.
How we spelling Sean? What's the handle for Sean Wright? So I make sure I'm
SEANWRIGHT-NBA.
Got you.
Yeah. You never know. We'll find out 2 p.m. today if the Grizzlies do or don't anything, or if any other teams do anything with the NBA trade deadline. All right, we'll come back. We're going to do our Kendrick Lamar set list. We'll do a little movie news from the week as well as I continue my quest of watching all of the movies up for Best Picture. I watched Emilia Perez. Some have called it the worst movie to ever be nominated for Best Picture. I'll let you know if I agree with that sentiment when we come back.
Our fans have a huge impact on our ability to play to the level that we're striving for.
Drop off, Durant. Oh! Well, you wanted home crowd involvement.
I love those moments where you see our guys engaging in the fans, and the fans just get pumped up.
They are standing in FedEx Forum.
I would hate to be on the other side with the opposition when FedEx Forum's rolling. That's such an unbelievable relationship that our group has with our fans.
At the National Civil Rights Museum, history moves us forward. The question remains, how does history move you?
Keep on talking, marching up to freedom now.
Shinedown, Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum, Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit shinedown.com.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
So these are a pair of Kobe 11 Elite Low. These were part of a collaboration with FC Barcelona.
I've never seen these in person. The detail on these are amazing.
It's Flyknit, like, you know, the front of the shoe is Flyknit. It's got the lunar line, I remember, and the
insole is removable.
Yeah. The Sneak Fest show, live Tuesdays at 2 p.m. on Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app. Grizz Nation gets set for tip-off 1 hour before every Grizzlies home game with the warm-up show. Get the latest news, notes, and analysis live from courtside at FedEx Forum.
This team is doing everything that Taylor Jenkins and his coaching staff envisioned it could do.
Join me, Lang Whitaker, along with Michael Wallace, Jessica Benson, and other personalities from Grind City Media, Memphis, and around the NBA. 1 hour before every home game, live at Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
Yes, CJ.
You're not seriously going to watch an episode of The Pit today, are you?
I hope I can.
On your birthday?
But I have to watch it with Chris, so I don't think I'll be able to.
That gory-ass show?
I love The Pit. I would if I had time for it. I would. We watched half an episode of The Penguin last night after the Grizzlies game ended, but then I needed to go to bed because it was like 9:45.
Yeah.
And I was going to text you, but then I remembered I was just going to talk to you about it. I cannot believe what he did to his brothers.
Okay. Yeah, like they do such a good job in that show of sucking you in and almost like I know Batman.
No, I'm rooting against that guy through and through.
I know I'm not supposed to cheer for the Penguin, but they do such a good job of saying, "Hey, look, here's this plucky up and comer who's being kept down by the criminal mob. Look at him. He's rising. He's doing things," and almost pulling you into the, "Come on, Cobblepot. You can do it," and then they drop an episode or a moment, and it's like, holy hell, this dude is insane. This is terrible, awful. So yeah, you from the jump though have felt nothing towards him.
Towards him.
Just like
I'll root for Sophia, but I won't root for him. He just, but I didn't know his backstory. If you had shown me I saw Sophia's tragedy that led to her becoming the version of herself that is a nastier version.
Yeah.
With the Penguin, we had never seen it had been alluded that he had loss in his life, but there was always something just overtly so sinister about him, and so
sinister, good word for him.
Those people just will screw anyone over. You cannot trust anything they say because they'll come for you next. You see him come for everybody, and then to learn within his own family. But I do think that mom, the woman who plays the mom on that show, got robbed. She should have been nominated for some awards this year. She's so good on it.
Everybody on that show is tremendous. And the two big stars end up, I don't think, taken away from anybody, but their performances is so good in that show that you kind of forget about everybody else. Like the dude running with the Penguin, I forget his name. He's incredible.
Vic.
Also, the one that incredible job. Also, it is if you didn't have the Sophia character, and I just thought this right now because you're watching it from a different prism than I'm watching it as a woman.
Yes.
But if you don't have her character there, if you just move her character out and it's just the Cobblepot stuff popping off, do you think then you could be more like, yeah, come on, Penguin, let's go?
Maybe.
Okay.
Because then, it's just rooting for the perceived underdog.
Right, because that's what he is.
To me, he does not have the underdog feel.
Why not?
I don't know. He seems creepy. Red flags.
Underdogs can be creepy?
I mean, they can be, but he just, I would not want to interact with the Penguin.
I got you.
He gives me the ick.
But you, to be clear, you wouldn't want to interact with anybody in the mob either.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I got you. That sinister word and that the willingness to bleep over everybody involved is what makes that character really, really fun.
Yes. But anyway, The Pit comes out today and Severance comes out today. And I guarantee if we watch one, it'll probably be Severance because I hate that it comes out on Thursdays. It is so hard to not have that show spoiled. People are wild on the internet. Like, you basically have to stay off the internet. I've muted Severance on my Twitter feed, and yet things still slip through. So we probably won't have time. We're going out to a nice dinner. I'm excited.
Ooh, fancy clothes?
Fancy clothes?
Fancy clothes!
We're wearing fancy clothes! We're going to a Lunar New Year dinner at Amelia Jean's. They're doing like a tasting menu.
Oh.
On my birthday.
On your birthday?
It's for Lunar New Year, the year of the snake.
Wait, are you a snake?
No, I was the year of the monkey.
Okay. I
Wait,
think I
were
was
you?
a rat. I think I was a rat. I can't remember. I don't know.
Rats are misunderstood. It's
No,
okay.
they aren't. They're evil.
Just to
diabolical.
mention,
They're sinister.
the Memphis Tigers beat Tulsa last night, 83-71 in this here building. It was on at the same time as the Grizzlies game, and I was not able to watch the Tigers game. However, it was a nice finish for PJ Haggerty in his revenge game, we could call it. He had 23 points, 3 of 5 from 3. There was a period where he, Colby Rogers, Tyrese Hunter each made a slew of threes that allowed Memphis to run away with it. When I looked at half, they were only up 5, and I was like, uh-oh, are we on the floor is lava watch it again? We were not. Memphis wins 83-71. Their next game is coming up on the 9th. They will play Temple here at FedEx Forum. All right, we got to do the Kendrick set list as we predict every year what we can expect at this year's Super Bowl halftime show. Kendrick Lamar is the headliner, and CJ and I have done our best at figuring out what songs he is going to play and who he is going to sing them with. CJ, as the birthday girl, you get to go first.
Well, we just talked about that. Sign into legislation that I can't be the birthday girl.
Right, you can't be the birthday girl. Okay. I said me as the birthday girl. I'm still recognizing Black History Month.
Oh, okay.
And because
even though you took
got
a day
the lyrics
from me?
wrong and my people took a day from
because
you.
I got the lyrics wrong?
No, I got the lyrics wrong.
Gotcha.
But also because yesterday was... God, I hate the name of
National
that stupid day.
Women and Girls
National
in Sports.
Girls and Women in Sports. It's the worst name of a day. National Girls and Women in Sports Day. I think it's hard because girls plural has an S and women plural is women. You know, like it just doesn't flow. And the National Girls and Women in Sports Day. Anywho, we stole that day from Black History Month. My deepest apologies. I didn't ask for it. You get to go first with your Kendrick Lamar set.
All right, here we go. We're going to start the Kendrick Lamar show off. We're going to start with Don't Kill My Vibe.
That's mine.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, oh, Jessica's in the same mind frame that I'm in.
Yours is all right.
Oh, wait, no, mine is all right. No, because I put mine down. We're going to start with all right.
Okay.
And Kendrick Lamar, he has songs that are really, really popular. Absolutely. But it's parts of songs that are the most popular, right? Like, and you don't want to have lulls in the Super Bowl. So Kendrick Lamar can't do all of all right? But he can do that start.
Yes.
God got us, then we gonna be all right. And then boom, the beat comes in, lights come up, and we at the Super Bowl now. We turned off of that, and we go straight into I. From I, we go into Squabble Up. One of those types songs right there make you wiggle, make you get your hips moving a little bit, get you dancing a little bit. And it's from the new album, and everybody really likes that new album, so he's gonna have some of those in there. Give me backseat freestyle after Squabble Up.
Okay.
And again, there are moments and parts in that song that you can do that are really, really high energy, keep the crowd up. Then you go into Don't Kill My Vibe. Now we're gonna mellow the crowd out just a little bit. Mellow them out. You're still up and vibing. Everybody's gonna be Don't Kill My Vibe. Don't Kill My Vibe. Like we're all gonna. I can feel your energy from two lands away. I got my. So we're all in there on that. Then he's gonna hit us with Love because you gotta have one of those type songs at the Super Bowl. I Love Myself.
Yep.
You could get the live music in now as well. Bring out the instruments. You're in New Orleans.
That's a good one.
You get the live music going, and now we're in it with the live music. And who else is gonna come out? Don't look now. You got SZA. Here comes SZA onto the stage for her part of the show. Since it's the two of them, like it's Kendrick's Super Bowl with SZA, but it feels like whenever we do that, the with person, the featured person, does a couple of songs as well, and they've got a bunch of songs together that they can choose from. You go 30 for 30 into Luther. into all of the stars.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, boom, boom. And all of the stars is going to be incredible. It's going to be one of those slow songs. Think about Young Girls that Bruno Mars did at the Super Bowl. And it's just him on stage sort of spinning around the Super Bowl as the lights shine on him. It's all glittery. It's all sparkly. That's what's going to happen there with all of the stars. Not Weekend. Kendrick's got to go change. So Kendrick got to leave the stage and go get set up. That's where SZA gets her one song all along the weekend.
Does The Weeknd?
I think she does The Weeknd.
I think she would do Kill Bill, but I like this idea.
Maybe Kill Bill. It was either Weeknd or Kill Bill. I went with The Weeknd. SZA does The Weeknd. Kendrick Lamar pops up back on stage. He closes with Not Like Us because that's the reason he's here. He's ridden hating all the way from Compton to the Grammys to the Super Bowl. That's why he's here, to do Not Like Us, and the show ends. There we go.
It's a good show.
That's my list.
I wouldn't be disappointed. The early returns from the chat, they want TV Off to be performed for sure. I also don't have TV Off in my set list. However, I do think at some point in the show, and I should have figured out where exactly it goes, you will get him multiple times maybe screaming, "Mustard!" And it could have a little TV Off interlude if you go with that particular piece of it. But anyway, this is what I came up with for the set list. I am starting with Don't Kill My Vibe because it's going to start with, I love the performance element. Okay. It's all dark. It's all dark. But there's like some flashing lights because we're at a Super Bowl. We're in the Superdome. Cameras are flashing. It says, "I am a sinner who's probably gonna sin again. Lord, forgive me." Boom, straight into Squabble Up because it goes, "Lord, forgive me. God knows I am reincarnated." You start with Squabble Up. So you start fresh off something off the new album. Then you go into I, just because I think he plays I no matter what. I Love Myself is gonna be great. Then you go into, from there, DNA, because I forgot what a hit. Like, I listened to the whole Kendrick catalog. I love doing this activity because it's not like I've sat down and listened to old Kendrick in a while, and I just would really like to hear DNA. Going into Mia Mole, Sit Down, also known as Be Humble. Sit down. Then you start your SZA part of the production, where I think you start with All the Stars because the intro for All the Stars has that very ethereal sounding, so it kind of serves as a nice natural transition. You go from All the Stars into Luther. If this world were mine. Do all of that. Do a short bit for 30 for 30. I don't need to hear a long bit of 30 for 30, but it's like a nice tie-up with a bow of the SZA part of the production. It also allows for the beginning of a transformation for what would be the most internet-breaking moment in Super Bowl history, as they have Choose Love in the end zones, but you have the two biggest haters in the game, those who hold grudges better than anyone else in the music industry, Taylor Swift and Kendrick Lamar. Taylor Swift is going to be there out of the kindness of her heart. I mean, Kendrick doesn't need her to be kind, but I do think Kendrick does not care to share a small moment of his time with Taylor Swift. They're friends. They have a connection. I think it would elevate the show into a whole nother stratosphere, and I don't even need to see Taylor Swift like that, but they do Bad Blood. A part of me wanted it to go straight from Bad Blood to Not Like Us because it would be a perfect 1-2 hater punch. But instead, from Bad Blood, you go into All Right, you change it up a little bit, you go into Poetic Justice, and right before you get to the Drake verse in Poetic Justice, you hit him with Not Like Us. And you end, yes, I think it's perfect. If they don't do the Poetic Justice into the Drake verse turning into Not Like Us, what are you doing? And at that point, Drake is boarding a rocket to the moon, and he is leaving this sweet, sweet earth, and he is going to go start a new colony in outer space because I don't know how you come back from it.
That, if they can do that, that would be interesting.
Can you imagine?
That would be real fun. Jacob has pointed out that this is the second time in as many years where you've gentrified the Super Bowl performance during Black History Month. You stop it. We're not the ones making you do it last year. You're Cher's going to come out with Usher. Like, why?
Because she was in Las Vegas, and because my lifelong dream would be to see Cher come out in Las Vegas. Again, he does not need Kendrick Lamar. Taylor Swift. Kendrick does not need Taylor Swift. Mm-hmm. But I feel like we're not getting breadcrumbs. We're getting loaves of bread. Like Taylor at the Grammys, with all of the people and their attention on how much she's supporting Kendrick. She's got the broom going on. She's hitting the stanky leg. She's doing everything. And it's reminding us like, oh, like these two actually have a pre-relationship. Taylor is going to be there because I don't know if you have heard, Travis Kelce's playing in the damn Super Bowl. And I just think it's an opportunity. And if you want to go one step further, are you ready for this part?
God, come on.
What if they're both doing it and somehow they make a dig at a certain special guest who is attending the Super Bowl?
Who?
The President of the United States.
Oh, Donald J.
Who tweeted about Taylor Swift a couple months ago, and it goes into another level of the haterade drinking universe. I'm just saying.
Other Jacob points out you could just bring YG out if that's what you want to do.
Okay.
You just bring out Compton and
do the whole thing.
Do the whole.
And that's fine too.
Okay.
I also think he could start and end with Not Like Us. Like there's a world where that happens.
Do both?
Yes. It's the opener and the closer. And I don't think he says, I think, because according to TMZ yesterday, it's been cleared. Like it's going to be a part of the show. But it's up to who's in charge of like what passes? Is it the FCC? So it's the FCC and Fox and the NFL has to go through and like comb through all the lyrics and make sure that either they have like the tape delay or the ability to bleep out anything that they don't want. And I don't think Kendrick ends up singing probably A minor. He just lets the crowd sing it for multiple parts of that song. And that's the best thing about Kendrick Lamar, and especially Not Like Us at this point in history. Everybody can sing it. You won't miss a beat. I'm excited.
Props on first song. Not Like Us plus 195. Euphoria plus 300. Humble plus 210. Squabble Up plus 380. King Kunta 430. DNA plus 500. Last song. Not Like Us is both the leader in first song and last song. Not Like Us plus 550. Euphoria plus 800. N95 plus 900. United in Grief plus 1,000. Swimming Pools plus 1,100. DNA plus 2,600. I should have put Humble on there.
Yeah.
Humble should have been on there for me, but okay.
I think Humble's a must.
Yeah, I think Humble is.
Must play. Not Like Us and Humble feel like the two must. And just because SZA is guaranteed to come on, some combination of all the stars, Luther and 30 for 30. Yeah. I can't wait. Commercials, mute. Halftime show, excellent. All the way up. I'm just telling you, if Taylor Swift comes out.
You're talking about loaves of bread, not breadcrumbs, because Taylor Swift was seen dancing at the Grammys to a song everybody was dancing to.
I'm sorry, the picture of her holding. You have me sounding like I'm some like, super Swiftie out here. I just think that there is a connection
just
there.
Just admit it. Stop denying it.
You're right.
You need to identify as a super Swiftie. Embrace your people in their culture.
For this right person on the show, me, the super Swiftie on the show.
There you go. Embrace your heritage.
Firm in my ground.
Embrace your people. Yeah.
I'm excited. Have you watched any movies this week?
No, the only movie news I got is Kang the Conqueror may be coming back.
Congrats.
Which I would have much rather Marvel just not say anything and bring him back unexpectedly, because then we would have that moment in the theater where everybody sort of loses their mind. Like, oh no, they're going to continue with the storyline. The issue with Marvel right now is they haven't given us that movie yet in this new iteration, this new generation of Marvel movies that brings everybody together, right? There hadn't been that moment just yet. And even before Civil War, we had a couple of those moments, right? Like when Winter Soldier comes after Civil War, but like we figure, or is it before? I think it's Winter Soldier before. Either way it goes, we have some moments in the MCU before we get to Civil War, and it's like, oh no, look, like this is gonna be fun watching this play out. We don't have those just yet. I'm looking forward to Captain America, to the Falcon movie with Sam Wilson. I think that could be one of those moments that bring everybody together and say, all right, this is a clear path. We're all down. Let's all walk down here together. There hadn't been that unifying moment in the MCU just yet in this new generation. I think Kang coming back, for those of you who missed it, Jonathan Majors got in some legal trouble for like a domestic situation, and then video came out that the woman took it to court. Video ended up coming out and was like, Jonathan Major do anything that egregious. But by the time it all came out, Marvel and Disney had pulled away from majors. There was a switch to Dr. Doom, to Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom, and so it was looking like Marvel was going to set up that sort of storyline. Fantastic Four trailer dropped earlier this week. But now with this flirtation with, hey, maybe we bring majors back, like they're doing this, the MCU is doing this, Marvel Studios, Disney's doing this to gauge how we all react to the thought of majors coming back. So you can throw these things out there and then see if people rock with it or not. And then if they rock with it, cool. If they don't, cool as well. This is what happened with Sonic. They dropped Sonic. We all looked at his messed up face and teeth. It was like, ugh, get that ugly ass thing out of here. And they fixed it, right?
Yeah, it's like when the Mavs dropped that trade of Luka to the Lakers, and we all looked at it like, what the hell are you doing? And they were like,
they could have floated that out there.
Just kidding.
Just float it out there, get the pulse of the people.
Right.
But yeah, so Marvel's doing that, and I for one would love them to continue the Kang storyline, because Kang is a really cool villain and a really bad big thing that can pull everybody into a kerfuffle, and that's what we're here. I'm here for superhero kerfuffles.
I love kerfluffles. Speaking of kerfluffles, lots of Oscars kerfluffles occurring. The Oscars have turned into a really interesting race, especially for Best Picture, because there have been a handful of scandals that have come across the movie world. The Brutalist has been... It came out that they used AI with the accent of Adrian Brody in that movie, and he was the frontrunner to win Best Actor, and The Brutalist was kind of turning into the frontrunner to win Best Picture. I don't know. I think they can probably overcome that. Amelia Perez is going to have a very difficult time overcoming the fact that their lead actress, who is the first trans woman to ever be nominated for Best Actress at the Academy Awards, she also happens to be one of the most racist human beings on this earth. And that's a bold claim, but she comes for everyone. They have found not old tweets, week old tweets. We're not talking about oh, she was young. There's another woman up for Best Actress who some photos from 20 years ago, she was in a sketch show where she did blackface, and she's been very apologetic and understanding that in her culture. She's from Brazil, was not aware when she was younger. She's embarrassed, she's mortified. She did it, she apologizes. That was years and years ago. The tweets from Carla Sofia Gascon are from 2 weeks ago. She even came for Selena Gomez. Netflix is now at the point where they are not paying for any of her travel, accommodations, hair, makeup. Netflix is trying to distance themselves from this actress. Yeah, go look at the tweets.
What's she
so
say
bad
about
that
Gomez?
I can't say them.
Oh, really?
She called Selena Gomez a rat.
Okay.
That's her co-star.
Okay, what's bad about that?
Go read all the context of everything around. But this movie, people have grown to... Not grown. The sentiment has been from many people who I love and respect, and then others who I just respect from a film standpoint, that this movie is horrible. And so Chris and I, over the weekend, we were actually going to go see The Brutalist. The Brutalist is 3.5 hours long. You have to schedule it into your day. There's an intermission. We were going to go see it out at Ridgeway. Unfortunately, we got there, and the screening was canceled because they had technical difficulties with the screen. So we did a pivot. We went and bought a new plant. And then we decided this is the day we have to watch Amelia Perez. We'd been kind of dreading it, not excited to watch it at all. It's on Netflix, it's easy to stream, and we just had heard so many bad things, we really didn't want to watch the movie. Pop it on. First 20 minutes, kind of hit. I was like, this movie's not as bad as everybody says it is. And then it turned real quick, and it was as bad as everybody says it is. And that song is the real turning point. The very nice to meet you, sex change operation, man to woman, woman to man, man to woman, da 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 da. You know the rest. Then it kind of gets okay in the middle, and then the ending of that movie is so bad it loses any grace that it has built along the way, and you're just left thinking this is one of the most wasted potential movies that you have ever watched. Zoe Saldana, excellent in it. Excellent. She's a frontrunner to win Best Supporting Actress. I hope she still is able to win despite all the controversy that has come with this movie. She's really good in it. Everyone else, meh. The movie itself, it's so weird. I really want to talk to somebody who loves this movie. I need to talk to somebody because I need to understand the other side. This is me reaching across the aisle, asking to talk to Amelia Perez supporters and lovers, because it was a movie. as CJ catches up on all of the tweets from Carla Sofia Gascon.
What have I done in my life? What have I done? I haven't killed a single fly. When I have a spider in my house, I put a little glass on it so as not to kill it, and I take it out to the street. Okay. What the hell does that have to do with you saying racist things? Also, you left out the trans part of this.
I said she's the
Did you
first
say-
trans woman to ever be
Okay.
nominated for Best Actress.
There we go. All right.
It's quite unfortunate. And that's the thing with this movie is, without... Spoiler, if you plan on watching Amelia Perez, honestly, you shouldn't. So don't bother. Allow me to tell you about the movie. The concept is it's a leader of a drug cartel in Mexico. Oh, the other controversy with the movie is that it's based in Mexico, but it was directed by a Frenchman, and the Frenchman did no actual introspective on Mexican culture and just said, my version of Mexican culture is all you need for this movie. So they take you to Mexico. It's a drug cartel. The leader of a drug cartel determines that she, born male, was born in the wrong body, has not been living their truth, and wants a sex change operation to become a woman, and then lives a whole other life. She was married. Her wife in it is Selena Gomez. That's the premise. There's something there. I was intrigued by the concept. They never quite dive into how this person goes from being a ruthless killer leading a drug cartel to then wanting to be good because she got to become a woman. Honestly, pro-trans rhetoric.
That's not how that
if
works.
you just let someone be their true self, maybe they don't murder thousands of people or
Because all the
murder
drug
thousands of
dealers
people.
out here are trans.
Well, maybe
if Pablo Escobar could have been allowed to transition
to be the woman that he wanted to be.
Yeah, he wouldn't have.
I'm not saying that Pablo Escobar. Please, don't have the family of Pablo Escobar. I don't even want to say that.
What are we talking about?
It was a wild film. Some parts were okay. Some of the songs actually were a little boppy. I hated that I liked some of the songs. You know I love a musical.
Mm-hmm.
I hate a bad
Wait,
musical.
which songs are we talking about?
It's a musical.
From which
Amelia
movie?
Perez.
Okay, Jessica, you're hitting me with a whole lot of information
I'm
right
just
now.
saying Amelia Perez.
I have no clue what we were talking about. I thought we were talking about the trans drug dealing king.
That's
queen
the theme of the movie.
Oh, that's that movie? And it's a
musical.
Yes,
it's a musical.
That seems like a lot.
Musical.
That seems like a lot.
I would just love to see somebody sit down and watch that movie and have no idea. They're like, oh, I want to watch the movies for Best Picture. There's a lot of I would love to watch people watch the nominee for Best Picture. That one, I'd love to watch people watch The Substance, having no idea what it's about. And then Anora, which I now really hope finds a way to sneakily win Best Picture this year. But the beginning scene of that is just strip club, some would call it heaven.
Here we go.
If you knew nothing about it.
All right. I might watch that. Nobody needs to
All
watch
right,
me
everybody.
watch it, though.
Happy trade deadline day. We'll be
Happy
back
birthday.
tomorrow. Happy birthday. Thank you.
Yeah.
We'll find out. Do the Grizzlies do anything on my birthday or do they stand pat? I haven't said stand pat enough this time of year.
This is the only time of year you can
I
stand
know.
pat.
We never stand pat
Is
for
it
anything
stand
else.
pat or stay pat?
Why would you ask me?
I don't know.
Is it
My fault.
pour up or pull up?
Is it what?
Pour up
Oh, okay.
or pull up?
Yes, it's pour up.
It is stand pat. It's an
Okay.
idiom that means to refuse to change position or opinion. What'd you say? Stay pat?
Yeah, I did just asking.
Ending with a win. We'll see y'all tomorrow. It'll be Friday. We can't wait. Bye.
So the drug dealing trans
Yes.
queen kingpin
Yes.
is a musical?
No, it's the one with the song.
What song again?
From Pieces of